Let me ask you guys a question, and I mean this completely seriously. This is not a facetious question at all. Do you think one day we'll be sitting here and instead of reviewing the Thailand variant of Chuck Armstrong mood springs, we'll be here reviewing the Thailand variant of race damage mood springs? That's right, one of the most popular, one of the most iconic, one of the rarest retail releases of all time, dating back to the 2010 Final Lap collection. And is it just because of how fun and iconic the scene he's from itself is? Just how emblematic that scene is of the entire first Cars movie? Or is it because this literally may be Mattel's best work in the Disney Cars diecast line? It looks like they straight pulled this car from the frame he's in the movie. That's how good, that's how accurate he looks. So genuinely, guys, I am curious to your thoughts. Is there any chance at all Mattel ever re-releases race damaged mood springs? I think there is a chance, although it may be very, very small. I think there's a chance for it. Mattel knows how popular, how rare he is. They know it would be one of the most popular releases again if they were to put him back out on the store shelves. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, Race Damage the King came back just a couple years ago, and although he was never, ever as rare as Race Damage Mood Springs is, that still was pretty significant. So welcome back, guys, to a Mr. Docket presentation. Today, obviously, we have the Thailand variant of Mood Springs here to review Chuck Armstrong. I mean, it's crazy how this one has kind of slipped my clutches over the last few years. And just now, even though this is not his first Thailand release in the slightest, this is probably his second or third by now. But to start off 2025 here, one of my first 2025 reviews, why not? Let's do Chuck Armstrong. So let's get right on into it. He debuted in 2025 Singles Case P, which I just revealed and then reviewed a few weeks ago. And I'll leave the link to that video in the description below and card session pop-up. This case contained so many Piston Cup racers. You got RPM, Mood Springs, Gasprin, Leakless. Of course, Ernie Gearson for Experiment. That's a very significant one because that was his first time being released from Thailand. So yeah, Piston Cup Cars 1 especially is taking over at Target stores right now across the United States. And that's a good thing. There are, I believe, 2 of Mood Springs in the case. And I think there will be a few more as we continue throughout the year here. So you got his classic artwork there looking good, very iconic, although just blatantly telling us, yeah, his rims are blue, his wheels are blue, but we're going to give you gray ones. The only time we actually gave you blue ones is on the Race Damaged Mood Springs. Like I said, one of the most accurate, just straight out of the movie cars they've ever made. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the first time he was done from Thailand was in 2019. I think it was 2019. The Desert Horizon series, that is when they called him Dud Throttleman, I believe. And I think he also came back. Maybe this is only his second time. I might be wrong. Someone will let me know in the comment section below. But on the back here, you have some other Cars 1 nostalgic characters, like, of course, Slim Hood. Wait, whoa. You're not supposed to be here, bud. Yeah, no, Mattel screwed this one up. Of course, it says as seen in Cars, but Slim Hood, no, that's a Cars 3 character, my friend. They've done a pretty good job, though, over the last couple of years on keeping these card backs accurate, but they made a boo-boo there. You do have Sheriff, Dave Alternators, he's in Case N. Billy Oil Changer, Octane Gang, he is in Case N. So those are 2 more Piston Cup racers, 2025, that are not even in Case P, right? So there's a ton coming this year. You got Sally and Fillmore there as well. Good stuff all around, but all those are Case N debuts. He doesn't, unfortunately, feature Ernie Gearson or some of the other Case P companions that he has. But I'll be right back with a Chuck all opened up. Now you may be wondering, Mr. Docket, why is everything on the review table decorated for the holidays? Well, this is day 1 of the classic series on my channel, the 12 days of Christmas. Now, things are a little bit different this year. It is 12 straight days of any kind of video, just like basically normal content, but 12 straight days of it. So like if, for example, Mandy Fruitenbender had come out during this time, she would have been one of the 12 days of Christmas. So it's really just a representation and reflection of what's going on and what kind of customs and other things that I've gotten in over the last couple weeks. It's going to be a blast. We'll get to the shout outs at the end of the video. I have some more details to touch on for the 12 days of Christmas, but let's get on into the review here of the Thailand variant of Chuck Armstrong by showing where he appears in the movie. Now, obviously, we all know where he appears when he racks, but outside of that, there he is, racing just normally, pre-catastrophe, pre-incident, just a background character up until the point of the crash, though, where he does get a couple speaking lines with race official, tow truck Tom, race tow truck Tom. Yeah, that's a tongue twister a little bit, but yeah. He ends up being one of the few background Piston Cup racers that ends up getting speaking lines at all. So good for him, although it's sacrifice. It was a big sacrifice to get those speaking lines. We'll be comparing him here today to the Motor Speedway of the South version of Chuck Armstrong, only the best for you guys. And obviously right off the bat, you could see that the axles are a little too long because the wheels, or the tires, they stick out on either end. But we know that that's been a problem with this specific car model. And then the leakless model, for example, has too short of axles. So it's just kind of something that we have to accept. But yeah, I mean, the expression is pretty similar here. Let's actually switch these two. I feel like that might make this a little easier. Thailand on the left, Chinese on the right. But yes, you got the plastic eye plate there, though. That is a new thing going on there with a lot of these Piston Cup racers these days. A lot of cars in general these days. The shade of blue is a little bit lighter. It's not as deep of a blue, not as concentrated of a blue, I would say. It's just a little bit more of a lighter, kind of dull blue, but it still looks good. But you could also say the same thing about that Mood Springs logo, just not as vibrant of colors, not as sharp either, not as crisp. You do have the Spring M there, which has always been very cool and creative, but it's a little fuzzy around the edges, and that is just kind of how it goes when it comes to Thailand variants. You know what also? Yeah, I mean, what the hell, Mattel? Why didn't we paint his mouth? And it's not like... it's not like they never paint the mouths. I mean, they actually almost always paint the mouths. Here is Darren Leadfoot, another Thailand variant in the same model. They probably got away with one here with Punchy Wipeout being a white front bumper there. They didn't really have to do anything with it, but they always paint the mouths. Actually, I could probably make that blanket statement. Actually, hold on a second. Rusty Cornfuel broke the trend. They didn't paint Rusty Cornfuel's mouth either there, which is super unfortunate. So, yeah, him and Rusty, two of the only Piston Cup Racer Thailand variants that did not get a painted mouth there, which is a little unfortunate. That's a detail that will hurt it in this comparison here. Although, because the expression isn't that much different, like with Paunchy Wipeouts, they really changed it up. That's also, a knock against him. So you got the Thailand there on the bottom, Chinese on the top. You kind of went from more of a dark black. Yeah, dark black, that makes sense. Just a straight black wheel color to a little bit more of a gunmetal gray. Like, that's definitely not pure black anymore, but still not accurate. The contingency sponsors, they don't look all that bad, but clearly not as clear as the original Chinese versions. And, that's any Chinese version. It's not just the Motor Speedway, the South version. So you can see there. Got the black stripe, the 33. Again, very creative that the 3 is a spring, the M is a spring. It's all, yeah. Pixar was great. That was peak Disney Pixar, in my opinion, in terms of their creativity. The gas cap is a lot more engraved and a lot more profound on the Thailand version than it is on the Chinese version. You can tell very easily about that. Mood Springs logo got a little bit smaller, it looks like here, to fit more cleanly in between the window there and the bolts. You got the opaque gray windows now, black window bars, 33 there on the roof with the roof flaps. And pretty much same stuff going on here in the back. Definitely a blurrier Mood Springs logo. It also doesn't look as long, but it looks a little taller. This, yeah. Interestingly enough, the Mood Springs blue is a lot of a lighter blue. Here it's a little bit more just a typical aqua blue. That's an interesting point. The rest being black, can't really screw that up. I would say that the Chinese bolts that connect the spoiler to the car are a little bit more realistic. They're a little bit more narrow and carved out. Here they're just kind of gray blotches. I don't know, just they don't look as realistic to me. It doesn't look, they're not clearly as shiny of a silver, and I think that has something to do with it for sure. So a little disappointed there. This Thailand variant not really living up to any good expectations here. T36A means this guy was produced during the 36th week of 2024 at the A factory. That makes sense, a little bit more than halfway, and here we are now toward the end of the year, and he is hitting store shelves. Definitely will not be a hard car to find. I found a bunch of him already, and because there are so many in these few cases, he will peg warm more than Floyd, Claude, Ernie, etc. Although RPM, I would not be surprised. Billy Oil Changer as well. Those probably will hang around a little bit too. Yeah, also the grill is not quite as long, it looks like. So, yeah, a couple downgrades. I don't know if I could come up with any sort of upgrade. I mean, they didn't paint them off. They didn't really change up the expression. The eyes maybe look a little bit better, a little bit more realistic and not as just plopped on like the Chinese versions all are. But, yeah, at the end of the day, a Thailand variant that's going to be very forgettable to me, unlike the Thailand variant of Todd the Pizza Planet truck. Or, you could be so bad like Mel Dorado that I will also always remember you. But now it's time to show him off with some of his companions here. I do have this custom Pity, which I also have the real deal Pity, which that was another video that you can check out. But we'll just show the custom one for today by Jim Scavenger. Gotta give him some love. Ever since the canceled actual prototype version came into my collection, the custom one has taken a little bit of a back seat. Here you have the next gen Ed Trunken. I do like Ed quite a bit. See, they actually gave him the blue wheels that Mood Springs always should have had, and they didn't really change up the color scheme all that much. And yeah, they kind of just modernized the spring of the M there, shadowed it very nicely. And of course, Doug Throttleman, who's also one of my favorite Cars 3 Piston Cup racers in terms of the veterans, didn't really change up the design all that much either. And just kind of kept with what's worked for them, modernized it, and yeah, gave them the nice proper blue wheels. And also gave them some purple, which was kind of interesting. You can see some purple accents in there. Yeah, I really do like Dud. I was always very ecstatic when he came out. I would absolutely go crazy for a Dud re-release, or really any Cars 3 veteran at this point. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Of course, there is the factory custom pickup truck as well. You could easily make a custom crew chief out of that by adding a headset, because the Mood Springs crew chief model is a pickup truck as it is. So unlike with some of the other ones where they're sedans, you can't really do much with the factory customs if you're really going for accuracy. And then here, of course, is your hauler. And a little fun fact, they canceled just the semi-cab. In 2017 was going to be a standalone deluxe offering, and they canceled him. He was going to have a slightly different expression as well. So let me know in the comments section below, what do you think of this Thailand variant? Really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. It is time now for the shout outs for this episode, this day of the 12 days of Christmas. Now, if you don't hear your name and you did suggest Chuck Armstrong, you could feel pretty secure that one of your other suggestions will end up happening, because I want to make sure as many people get shout outs as possible. So here we have Noah 33 Artist and Jalen 36. Thank you both for your suggestions. I guess on the flip side of that, if you're Noah or Jalen and you had suggested other things, but you didn't, you already heard your name here, maybe you don't feel as good about your other suggestions happening, but hey, anything's possible. It's going to be an absolute blast. I changed some things up this year so that the content for this season and seasons going forward can be that much more exciting. It could be anything, like tomorrow. could be pretty awesome. It could be something pretty special tomorrow for the second day of the 12 days of Christmas, and so on and so forth. You'll see things that you would never have expected. If you've been on my channel for years now, you would never have expected these types of videos to slip into the 12 days of Christmas. But I wanted to spruce things up a little bit and kind of take a page out of Marvel's What If book. I really like how they did that. And, I've been doing this for years before What If, started releasing their episodes around the holiday season day by day. But I really like just kind of how special and how they made it an event every single day. So yeah, what the hell? Thank you guys, as always, for your support. I really appreciate it, especially when it comes to this series. Almost said season there. But yeah, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We will see you tomorrow. Bye now.